It is Tuesday, March 26th, and the Splash Zone is back in your life. I am Matt Modi, and I have 4 NBA player props for tonight's NBA betting slate. It's a smaller slate, but I was still able to find 4 plays that I really liked. Of course, before we can get into today's picks, we got to do a recap from yesterday, which was finally a good day. I had been in a little bit of a rough cold streak the past couple days, so it was nice to have a good day yesterday. I ended up giving out 5 total picks yesterday. I got 3 of those 5 to cash. All of them except for 2 were for pretty juicy plus money banger odds. So because of those odds, we were up 1.41 units yesterday. I should have stayed away from DeJounte Murray. It was a late ad, but I didn't. So that obviously has to track officially. But still a very, very good day overall, which was desperately needed after 3 down days in a row. Didn't have any ladder plays yesterday, so 0 for 0 there on the entire season. That brings us even more above the 80 unit mark, up 81.81 units on mainline plays specifically. Incredible success. I never in a million years thought that I would have been up 81 units in the NBA, but here we are. Ladder plays, like I said, I didn't have any yesterday, and we are on a little bit of a colder streak with ladder plays specifically. I just started tracking this a little over a month ago, and we're up 2.87 units specifically on ladder plays with a cold stretch. Let's hope we can have a better day today. If you're new to my channel, would appreciate it if you could subscribe. Obviously for this video, like, comment, all that good stuff helps me out a ton. But enough of that. Let's get into today's picks. Let's see if we can splash around and get wet. The first play that we're locking in here is in the Lakers versus Bucks game. And I'm taking D'Angelo Russell over 7.5 assists. This is at -125 odds at FanDuel. So this is a situation where I am going to have a ladder play. I'm going to ladder him to to 10 plus assists as well. That's at +250 odds at FanDuel, and I put a half unit on that bad boy. It's a tale as old as time. It's pretty easy to guess what the play here is at this point. If LeBron sits, you're going to want to hammer D'Angelo Russell assists. So as of right now, LeBron is listed as doubtful. Obviously, because of that, the expectation is that he doesn't play. And the books are pricing this game, assuming that LeBron doesn't play as well. So that is the expectation here. I will admit, I did give this out overnight on my Dub Club. I gave it out at -105 odds. As I woke up this morning, it moved to -125. So a nice CLVW there, closing line value win. But I would still hit it at the -125 number that I'm giving out now. And because that is what made it to YouTube, that is what will officially be tracked. So this year, D'Lo has played 9 games without LeBron James. He has literally never not gotten to at least 8 assists. He's literally cashed over 7.5 assists 9 of 9 games without LeBron James this year. He's gotten to exactly 8 twice. He's gotten to exactly 9 twice, 10 twice, and then 11, 14, and 17 in the 9 games without LeBron James. So more often than not, he absolutely crushes this assist over. And that's exactly why we are laddering it to 10 plus assists as well. In the same 9-game stretch without LeBron James, he's averaging over 17 potential assists. Now, for context, if you extrapolated that potential assist number over the entire season, that would be the 3rd highest in the entire NBA in terms of potential assists. And we also have a recent sample size of what it looks like when D'Angelo Russell plays the Bucks without LeBron James. In that game, he had 9 assists on 20 potential assists, and he hit like 9 3-pointers in that game. He went basically the entire second half without getting an assist. Maybe he blows up from 3 again. I also think he could easily get to 12 assists in this game tonight as well. So this is what we are riding with. Absolutely love this play. Next up, Thunder versus Pelicans game. I'm taking Zion Williamson over 6.5 assists, +135 odds. This one is at bet365. So this one is another play because of an increased assist rate due to a player missing time. In this case, we're taking Zion assists because Brandon Ingram is out for the Pelicans. Now I know that Brandon Ingram has missed the last 2 games and Zion still went under in those 2 games, the 2 recent ones, but if you look at the entire season, he cashed it in the previous 3 games that Brandon Ingram missed. And in those 3 games, he had 8, 9, and 7 assists. In one of the recent games that Zion missed, that was against the Heat. He only played 24 minutes in that game because that game was a blowout. He didn't play the entire 4th quarter. And he still had 4 assists in that game. So 4 assists in 24 minutes is pretty good. Then the next game was on the second night of a back-to-back. He missed it that game as well. But that was against the Pistons, and he scored 36 points in that game. And he still ended with 6 assists. So I think more often than not, if you play those games out on a normal situation, he probably does get us to the 7 assist number. And I think the fact that he's missed it in both means that we are getting a little bit of value on this at plus 135 odds. So I want to look at what Zion's assist rate is in a normal game, right? Not looking at any type of on-off splits. Zion's assist rate is 25.67%. If you look at with Brandon Ingram on the floor, that goes down to 20%. And with Brandon Ingram off the floor, it goes all the way up to 34.68%. It's a 15% difference versus with and without Brandon Ingram. And it's a 10% difference if you just look at a neutral game script. That 34.68 assist rate number, those are in lines with not the best point guards in the world, but in line with Jamal Murray, in line with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, in line with Damian Lillard. Those type of point guards is what that assist rate equates to. And he averages 7.4 assists per 36 minutes when Brandon Ingram is off the floor. So pretty good stats without Brandon Ingram. And now he's got a pretty good matchup as well against Oklahoma City. According to Courtside Pal, the Thunder give up the second most assists per game to Zion's playmaking style. These two teams actually did play earlier this season. Brandon Ingram missed that game. Zion had 8 assists in that game on 16 potential assists. So because of the matchup, because of no Brandon Ingram, I think we're getting a really, really good price on Zion over 6.5 assists. That's what we're riding with for our second play. Next up, we're sticking in the Thunder versus Pelicans game. And I'm actually going to have 2 plays here that I'm talking about together. Both of these are half-unit plays. I'm taking Josh Giddey 2+ made 3-pointers. That's at plus 210 odds at FanDuel. And I'm also taking Lou Dort 3+ made 3-pointers. That is at plus 230 odds at FanDuel. Both of these guys play for the Thunder. And my logic for taking both of them, I spent so much time debating which play I liked better between the two because both of them are really good. And I was waffling over which one I wanted to do. So instead of only playing one, I decided to play both just for a decreased unit size for only half a unit. The hope is that if one cashes, then we will be good to go. We'll be easily in the green. But I could easily see both of these cash as well. So the play here, the reason why I like both of these guys is because of how the New Orleans Pelicans, obviously their opponent, how they play the three-point line. Long story short, if the Pelicans don't respect you as a shooter, they literally won't guard you. They will leave you wide open. Now, the NBA defines wide open as 6 feet of space. And over the past 10 games, the Pelicans lead the NBA by a mile in terms of opponent three-point attempts that are considered wide open. In this 10-game stretch, they're allowing 25.9% of three-point attempts against them be considered wide open. The next closest team is down to 24.1%. That's almost a 2% gap between them and the second team. And over a sample size, like 2% is a massive deal. And unsurprisingly, who leads the Thunder in terms of wide open three-point attempts? That would be obviously Josh Giddey and Lou Dort. The thing with the Pelicans, like I said, if they don't respect you as a shooter, if they don't think you can shoot, they're going to leave you wide open and just trust that you're not going to shoot at a high enough volume or not going to make it at a high enough volume to really hurt them. And this is something that's been going on all year as well. This is not a new thing. They lead the NBA over the entire season in terms of three-point attempts that are considered wide open in terms of percent of shots against them. And it's just been getting worse recently. And as I said, that is exactly what Josh Giddey and Lou Dort do for the Thunder. Over the last 10 games, Giddey leads the Thunder in terms of wide open three-point attempts, and he's making the second most over the past 10 games. In that same sample size, Lou Dort is making the most wide open three-pointers for the Thunder while attempting the second most. They're just flip-flopped. Essentially, Giddey's attempting more but making less because he's shooting at a worse percentage. Well, while Dort is shooting less, but he's making more because he's shooting at a higher percentage. But because of how dynamic the Thunder offense is, these are the two guys that teams leave wide open because they don't respect their jump shot. Now, looking at each player individually, Giddey actually has a pretty high floor. He's made at least one three-pointer in each of his last 10 games, but he's only made 2 twice. So obviously the ceiling isn't quite there, but that does include last game against the Bucks where he went 4 of 6 from three-point range. Normally that would scare me off, but if you look at Giddey's entire season and you look at games in which he's made 2 or more three-pointers, normally he kind of does it in waves. It's like a cluster. So he gets hot from three-point range, and then that carries over for 2 to 4 games. So the hope here is that the same thing can happen tonight, that he can stay hot after making 4 last game. And then as for Dort, this is a perfect opportunity where we get to fade recent results. He had a stretch in the last 10 games where he cashed 3 or more three-pointers in 3 straight games. Since then, he's missed it in 4 straight. Perfect buy low opportunity for Lou Dort. And that's all we got. 4 plays for you guys to lock in. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And the last thing that I'll mention, I mention it at the end of every video, is that I do have a dub club that I've hinted at a couple times. So the way it works is it's only $5 a month to sign up for the Dub Club. And if you sign up, you get every play that you see me give out on YouTube or on Twitter. You get it sent directly to your phone. So you get it via text, via email, via Telegram, however you might want it. My logic is not everybody wants to watch the YouTube videos, or not everybody has time to watch the YouTube videos, or in situations like last night, by the time I come out with the YouTube video, the odds changed. And sometimes that people get frustrated, like, hey, I want to tail, but the odds are different by the time I get to your YouTube videos. That's why I came out with the Dub Club. Again, it's only $5 a month, because everything you get on Dub Club, you can get for free on YouTube or on Twitter. So if you want to spend the $5 and get everything texted to you immediately without waiting for the odds to change, or if you'd rather just get everything for free, totally fine with me. But I appreciate everybody for watching, and have a good one.